Hey, everybody, before we get into today's episode and interview with my good friend Kendall Jones, I want to remind you guys that from time to time we get some testimonials from our friends at Home Title Lock. This is kind of some scary stuff that I didn't even know existed. It's one of those things that I kind of feel like we're telling criminals how to be criminals. But these folks said, I didn't think that we would be victims until we got a bank notice claiming we defaulted on home loans that we never took out. Some thief found our title online, forged our signature stating he was the owner, then he borrowed against our home and stuck us with the payments. This lady went on to say our identity theft protection didn't stop it. The bank said it's our problem and insurance didn't cover it. We spent thousands trying to get our home back. Title theft is a huge problem, so you got to protect your home with Home Title Lock. For pennies a day, Home Title Lock puts a barrier around your home's title and mortgage. So go to HometitleLock.com and register your home to learn if your title has already been stolen. That's scary stuff. I mean, goodness sakes. I didn't even know that was a thing. But if you register your home now, you'll receive a free title scan and report, which is a $100 value. Go to HometitleLock.com, HometitleLock.com. Go check them out. Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Chad Prather Show. It never gets old. It never gets old. It's always good. Good stuff. Because we have the best guests. We got the most fun, the best topics. We're always, like, solving the world's issues and problems. We got Party Foul Steve over there with his Beto O'Rourke hands. Look at him, his Beto hands. It's getting better. It's getting better. Week in and week out. Getting better with the Beto hands.
Party Foul for president.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Could you imagine how horrible that would be if Party Foul Steve was a leader in the free world? What?
Would it?
Hey, well, if AOC can do it, AOC can do it, then Party Foul Steve. Yeah.
AOC can mix drinks. I can't.
Party Foul's actually a lot smarter than people give him credit for. He comes out with some.
Anybody that.
He's got some real wisdom. It comes out in spurts. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Funny. Hot news now. Natalie's sitting over there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's going on in your world?
What is going on? You know, the weather's participating, so our gun range is going up. So
you got it dried up. So DFW.
It's drying up.
Texas.
Gun
experience.
We're building a gun range.
Machine gun range.
Machine gun experience.
Let's be real.
Where is it opened at?
We're building it right now. It's on Main Street in Grapevine, so it's right next to the
Wait,
airport.
I think that y'all contacted me to come out for the grand opening. It's in November, right?
It's coming up. Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
I actually just talked about it yesterday.
They don't let me talk a lot about
So you coming or not?
Yeah,
I
so
am.
you're there.
There we go.
I am.
The mystery voice you're hearing, the girl who's coming to the grand opening, is our guest today, Kendall Jones. Hey, Kendall, I'm glad to finally meet you in person.
Absolutely. I feel like I know you on social media, so.
I know. It's always weird. Social media makes it weird because you feel like you know the person, and then you meet them, and it's like, well, we've known
we already know
forever.
each other, I feel like, but
Exactly.
First time meeting in person.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're going to have fun today.
I think we are. We
gonna
have
have
a lot
fun.
of stories.
We got some stories.
We have a lot of
I can't
stories.
wait to get into this thing. Hang on a second. Let me read this. So 10 million people are affected by the flooding, the historic proportions going on in the Midwest. This is a serious, serious deal. If you guys want to help, if you want to support, M1, that's Mercury One, is activating in the Midwest right now along the Missouri and Mississippi River basins. Mercury One's disaster relief partners, they're on the scene, they're on the ground, they're assisting during this time of unprecedented flooding in the Midwest. The news really isn't talking about this thing. It's a major deal. It's underreported. There's about 80 cities that are affected in 3 different states. Governor of Nebraska says it's the worst thing they've ever seen, worst situation he's ever seen in the state. And so M1 is mobilizing with our partners, getting ready. You can help. You can donate. We want to invite you not only to pray, but to give, and we need your help. Mercury One is looking for you to help as we work to provide immediate relief, and then throughout the entire response and recovery effort, which is not going to happen. It's not going to be over soon. This thing is going to last for a long, long time. So you can go to mercuryone.org, mercuryone.org. Mercury One exists to restore hope in times like these. So help, okay? Help. It's a bad deal. It's a really bad deal. And praying for those folks. Kendall, you have caught so much crap.
No, just a little bit.
Why do you hate animals so bad?
I don't know.
Why?
If you listen to the media, you would think I just hated all of them and didn't want to help any of them.
See, I feel like I am actually surrounded by cheerleaders. Texas Tech.
Yes.
Texas Tech cheerleader. Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. Both formerly. Yeah. But
I don't think my body could handle it anymore.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
I know my body couldn't.
Natalie says she
anymore.
can still do the dances, and one day we're going to get her back in the suit. And
nope, they took that away from me.
We'll come up with one.
You can borrow mine.
You can buy them at Halloween stores. So closer to
really the same. That's
not
really
quite the same, is it? Can you still do all the stuff that you did when you were at Texas Tech?
Yeah, I mean, it's not as graceful as it used to be. I actually went to the gym the other day and about splattered on my face a few times, but I can still try it. I still attempt it.
That's funny.
Yeah, I can do it on the trampoline.
Yeah. How long have you been doing outdoor things, hunting and all that? How long? Has that always been a part of your life?
24 years, yeah. Yep, I've been doing it my whole life. I grew up in the outdoors. I always liked just doing outdoor things. I always went fishing with my grandpa, and I always go out with my dad. The first time I really actually got into hunting was whenever I was 8, and my dad took me to Africa to watch him on his safari, and I just fell in love then. And ever since then, the outdoors has been a part of my life.
So mean to animals. So mean.
So mean.
I love trolling PETA on Twitter.
Oh gosh.
They're idiots. I mean, they're truly
PETA
idiots.
does more to animals than hunters
of course.
ever would.
People don't understand the concept of conservation. They don't understand that what hunting does to help the population of wildlife. And I've seen it. I mean, you get brutalized and bullied in so many things. You can't post any picture with
without
something you've
anyone
harvested.
Criticizing.
They're going to go crazy.
It's crazy. I mean, if you look at my Instagram right now and scroll through, you'll hardly see any kill pictures because Instagram has taken them off.
Yeah.
And all of my hunts in Africa, like on Facebook, none of those posts are on there anymore. And they get deleted like 5 months later. So it's not like I post it and the next day it's deleted. I post it and then 5 months later it's deleted. So it's like kind of hard to go back and repost it, you know?
Well, it's crazy. You know, my friend, Hannah Barron in South Alabama. So Hannah, she and I were together in South Georgia at an NRA convention gathering a couple of months ago. And she was frustrated because she was doing one of her sponsors, which is a bow manufacturer. She had done a promo video for the giveaway, and they deleted her deal. And all she was saying, just talking about the bow. There was no hunting involved. There was nothing going on.
I posted a promo code on my Instagram story. It was on Black Friday actually, and it was for CVA muzzleloaders. And they took the story off. All it was a picture of a gun saying a discount code. Yeah. And they took it off.
That's crazy.
Of a story, an Instagram story.
Yeah.
I thought that was weird.
Well, so, I know you get the hate mail, the hate comments and things like that.
It's actually going on right now from a picture of 4 years ago. I was in Spain. I studied abroad, and I went to a bullfight over there because that's tradition over there, and just to watch and see what it was all about. And, oh, yeah, they're going at me right now.
For going to the bullfight?
Yeah, just for going and watching.
I have a good friend. He's a mentor. He's a good deal older than me. He was in the Marines, and he was very, very crazy. He was on a nuclear submarine, and he went to the bullfight, and they got drunk, and they were up on the top level up there, and they were pulling for the bull, and so everybody was getting mad at him, and so they just started peeing on everybody below him. And
I didn't do that at the bullfight.
No. Now that's something you can criticize. Now that's worth criticizing.
Doesn't all that hate make you want to go do it more though?
Absolutely. I'm like, my thing is I don't sit on social media and look at stuff that makes me mad. Yeah. Like, if I don't like it, I'm probably just going to scroll past it.
Yeah.
Or, like, block them. If you don't like it, block me.
I can go on social media and say, Jesus loves you, and people are going to come back with hate.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah,
Jesus
people are going to come back.
Animals, too. He ate meat, so...
That's why God put animals on this earth, was for us.
That's why we have the teeth we have. No, but you got it. But it's amazing to me that people think they're doing a good thing, and the vitriolic things they say. Man, I wish you would die, or I wish somebody'd shoot you and hang you on a wall, and it's crazy. It almost. Have you ever been
pictures? I have pictures of people drawing pictures of me, like with bullets in my head, or like as a trophy on the wall. Like,
wow. Unreal.
What about in person? Has anybody ever came up
Not
to you in person?
one person has ever
Exactly.
said anything to me. Like, they might say something like, "Why do you do that?" and like they want to know more, but it's never been like hateful hatred comments. I've actually had someone take a picture of me standing 20 feet away from me and post it and talking crap, but they didn't come up to me.
You're
Like,
right
you
there.
were
They could have
20,
done it.
and it was at a hunting show.
Wow.
I'm like, you were right there. You could have come and said something to me.
Yeah, could have said anything.
And I was on vacation one time, and someone was like, I saw you on the beach today, and I was going to come up and say something to you, but I didn't. And I'm like, ooh, you really got me.
Chicken.
Almost did it.
You
Chicken.
almost did it. You're so close.
I wouldn't do it. I'd be scared of you. I'd be scared of you. I've got a lot of friends that are in media and social media that pretty outspoken people, and I could list a lot of them off. And it's the same story. They're chicken. They don't want to come.
Yeah.
They don't want to come.
The keyboard warriors.
Yeah, they don't want
out
to say
in
anything.
full force.
Let's talk about killing stuff. So
I can
Herbert
do
the
that.
silent deer doesn't have a lot to say on the subject. He's still mourning the loss of the rest of his body. But isn't he handsome? Isn't he a pretty?
He is nice.
He's
Where is he
nice.
from?
Yeah,
you know? You said you didn't kill him.
I didn't kill Herbert. I would never do that to you, Herbert. So don't ever think bad of me. But yeah, Herbert. We got to find out who killed Herbert. What truck hit him?
What truck?
Yeah, we do. You've killed the big five.
I have.
What are the big five?
The big five is a leopard, lion, elephant, Cape buffalo, rhino. And I've also shot the dangerous 7, so it's those 5 and then a crocodile and a hippo. So it's basically the deadliest animals in Africa.
Right on.
Which is the most deadly of all those?
The most deadly, ironically, is the hippo.
Okay.
And they acquire the most deaths per year, but that's because they live in like ponds and stuff, and people over there go over there to wash their clothes or get water, and that's how they get attacked. But the meanest is the Cape buffalo.
I was going to say the buffalo.
The Cape buffalo is the meanest, and I do not like those animals.
Wow.
That one charged me.
Wow. No kidding.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, we got to make this shot count.
So did you curl up in a ball and cry? Did you shoot it?
So that one was whenever I was 14. So I've done the big 5 twice. I started it whenever I was 13, and I finished it by the time I was 14. And then the controversy and the hate came from whenever I was 19, and I went over there again. But the time that I shot my Cape buffalo and it charged, it was a brutal day. We were driving around for 4 hours trying to find tracks and just signs of buffalo, and we weren't having any luck. And so after 4 hours of doing that, they were like, let's go out and let's just walk and see if we can find anything. And I was like, if we're not seeing any signs driving around or anything, what makes you think we're going to find any just walking around, hopefully we find something? But
You basically made yourself bait.
yeah, basically. So we were walking, and it was another 4 hours of walking, and the team split up, and the other people went out and they found one, and they said that it was running towards where we were. And so there was 3 bulls, and they were all coming, and the PH that was with me, my dad was with me too. The PH was like, all 3 of them are good bulls. If you have a shot, shoot one. I was like, okay. And so I see the trees moving, and they come running, and I shot it right in the shoulder, and it fell. And at that time, time goes so fast doing that. I didn't even rebolt my gun. Like, I was just so nervous, and the bull fell down, and my dad stepped out from behind the tree to see what it was doing. And at that moment, it locked eyes with my dad. It got up and it came.
Oh,
so
wow.
To answer your question, I shot the first one, and then I screamed and ran the other way and said, Dad, shoot it, shoot it. And so my dad pulled both of his 470 triggers at the same time, and a PH pulled one, and he shot 2 right there and 1 in the side, and it fell 15 feet from us.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, yeah. And it's all on video, too. It's pretty cool.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Roll the tape.
Yeah, we need.
Roll the tape.
Now we're going to cut to the clip. That's awesome. You got that on YouTube?
No, I don't have it on YouTube.
Chicken.
I know, right? Actually, all of my hunting videos have got demonetized on
Isn't that
YouTube,
crazy?
So, speaking of.
Isn't that crazy?
But yeah, I'm actually in the middle of filming my story right now of just, a lot of people don't know my story and where I grew up and where I came from and my background with everything. So that's actually what I'm in the process of filming right now.
Yeah.
And hopefully that'll be be released like later this year. And then I'm coming out with the Cody Project, which that was my dad. And he passed away in 2016. So since then, things have obviously changed, and we moved out to the ranch, and now I'm taking over the ranch, and it's going to be like life on the ranch and learning how to do ranch management stuff. So
Yeah, that's great.
pretty pumped about that. So
That's
maybe
great.
that clip will be on my story.
What's the name
Yeah.
of your story? Do you have a name?
We actually haven't named it yet. It's probably just going to be Kendall Jones' story. I don't
Come on,
know.
it's gotta be clever.
I
It's gotta
know.
be, and you know,
Kendall Jones' story's pretty clever.
I got some ideas churning right now.
Come
Oh, dear
on, bring them
Lord.
my way. I'm all
working
about
on
ideas.
We need, you know what we need? We need Trigger DeBose to go hunting with Kendall Jones.
Yes.
Oh, that would be
Trigger
funny.
DeBose.
That's
So-
a reality show right
That-
there.
I
I'm
know.
pitching it to CMT.
So I have all these characters that I do on our other show or on Humor Me, and one of them is Trigger DeBose. Like we were just at CPAC in Washington D.C. with which is the biggest conservative
yeah.
gathering of annually, and so I dressed up. I've got the mullet wig and the gold tooth and the whole thing and the sunglasses.
I think he should come.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come out and shoot a turkey.
Yeah, Trigger's
Turkey season's
hardcore.
coming up.
Yeah, well, I'll call Trigger.
Okay.
Cousin
call-
Trigger. But no, he walked around doing man on the street stuff, talking. He's a mess. Something else, embarrassing, but something else. Now, I was sorry, and I will say, we have, like I said, mutual friends, and with mutual friends of your family, and so I was sorry to hear about your dad passing 2016.
okay.
So
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry to hear that. But the story is interesting. I mean, here's a girl that everybody looks at and says, "Oh, she's just a pretty little girl who's a cheerleader and all that stuff." But she's a relative badass who goes out there to Africa and starts, knocking things down. Which is awesome. And so I spent a lot of time in Africa myself in my 20s and 30s, and a lot of time over there. So I have a lot of stories. I wrote a thesis on lions in Savo, which were the mainless.
I like talking about the lions.
Yeah,
So
me
good.
too. It's one of my favorite things. My wife says we have too many books and too many pictures at the house with lions, and so it's kind of my fascination over the years. But anyway, baboon story. I got to hear the baboon story because I've got a funny baboon story. We were talking about before we started recording. Before we go any further, I need to hear the baboon story.
So I was in Zimbabwe whenever I was 8. It was my first time to Africa. And we went over to Victoria Falls. And, the first time I went to Africa, I think I packed a suitcase full of food because I was like, I don't know what I'm going to eat over there. And so
Yeah.
I just, packed it to the top.
Yeah.
And so we went over to Victoria Falls, and I had a Snickers in my hand. And I was just walking around. Mom knows this story. I was just walking around, and there's just baboons walking all over this place. And all of a sudden, this baboon comes and charges me. And it's just coming, and it's not stopping. And I didn't know what to do. And my mom and dad were just like, it's okay. And so I get this Snickers and I just chunk it. And that baboon immediately stopped charging me, ran over there, took the Snickers and finished eating it.
Nice. Baboons love candy. I've learned firsthand experience baboons love candy. So I was in Yankari Game Preserve in Nigeria, up near Jos, Nigeria. And so we had stopped, and there was this beautiful clear spring, the spring that came up out from under this rock, and people would go out there and swim in it, whatever. And in the trees above, there were all the baboons, and they're just above you picking their butt. And so the next day when we were packing things up, I had a van. It was a Toyota van. I had the back door open. I had a sliding door open. And so I put everything in the van, and I shut the door, and I reached around my foot, and I hit that sliding door, and it shut. And I looked up, and I thought, who's in the van? A baboon had climbed in to the van and was sitting there on the bench seat in the second row. And I'm thinking, how am I going to get this out? Because he could break everything. I mean, he'd break the windows. If he decides to go nuts, this could get ugly. And how am I just going to open that sliding door and be face to face with this baboon that could rip my arms out? So I'm sitting there and I go, I got to do it before everybody comes because one, it's embarrassing, and two, we're going to lose everything if this baboon goes crazy. So anyway, I opened the door and stepped way back out of the way, and the baboon, he starts to step out, and then he steps back, and he looks over into the front seat, and there's this bag of hard candy. And so he reaches over and grabs the hard candy, and then he runs down. And so one of my doctor friends, he takes off running after the baboon because he comes up, and he wants to get the candy back.
He
I'm
wants
like,
his candy back.
let the monkey have the damn candy, Like, come on with this. So anyway, I didn't want my arms ripped out from their sockets.
Hey,
but
we both have candy stories.
exactly.
So
Baboon candy
If
stories.
you go to Africa, don't take
Yeah.
candy and be around baboons.
Exactly. They scare me. They do. But no,
Actually,
that's
maybe you should have candy.
maybe so. Yeah,
Boy,
get away from me.
I got that for you. Snickers satisfies.
Yeah. No, I got.
I've got a baboon story. But
You're
I
being
can't
such a
tell it.
baboon today, Steve. You're not yourself.
I can't tell a baboon story on air, but it was interesting. It was
Your
at the
baboon
zoo.
story.
Yeah, I'll tell you later.
This isn't how HIV started, is it?
It-
That's not,
it's pretty
not that
close.
kind of.
It's pretty close.
Good Lord. Party foul Steve. We tell all of our guests that if you want to know why we call him Party Foul, just hang around for a little while. You'll
Just
find
hang
out.
around.
Find out later.
So that's quite an experience. I mean, you spent, and I've got a lot of friends who did that. You know, I've got a lot of friends who spent a lot of time in Africa. I spent time in Africa studying the animals, not necessarily hunting the animals. And I know, everything from poaching, which is problematic, and so many things that are going on. And let's talk a little bit about this whole conservation thing, because people don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't get it. How does killing animals help animals? How does it help the population? Because people don't understand that.
That's a question I get all the time.
Yeah.
But people don't realize the money that it generates for conservation and what life is like actually in Africa and the real life problems that they have over there. And people don't get meat all the time over there. They don't have a Walmart right down the street. They don't have a supermarket where they can
Right.
just go and buy meat. So they go out and they kill animals, but they aren't paying to kill these animals. They're just killing them. They don't care. They don't look after the animal. They don't make sure it's an old animal. They don't make sure, they just kill whatever they see. And
Yeah.
as hunters, we go out and we study the animals to make sure it's a good animal. You don't want to kill one that's young. I mean, it has a life ahead of itself where it can reproduce and make more of it. And that's how, herds get
Yeah.
built up. And all of the animals that I killed over there, majority of them, I mean, we ate some of them, but all of the meat goes to those villagers, which that takes the need of them having to go out and poach an animal. So one, I paid for the animal, I donated the meat, which in return, they don't go out and poach the animal for no money at all. So
Right.
that's just one of the aspects of it. And the money also goes to anti-poaching teams. Whenever I was hunting in Zimbabwe, I actually had a game, I guess, equivalent to a game warden over there with us to make sure that we were hunting properly and going out and checking. And whenever I was there, 2 elephant actually got poached in the 2-week span that I was there. And the rhino epidemic, that's
Yeah.
terrible as well.
I'm still mad at that kid about Harambe. Kid should have stayed his butt on the other side of the fence. What in the world?
I've got some poaching stories, but I can't tell those on air either. They're self-incriminating.
Steve, shut up. You were going to implicate us in some major things. Party foul Steve got indicted. You kind of look like a mugshot sometimes sitting over there. Yeah.
I think there's got to be a statue of what do they call it?
Statute.
Limitations. Limitations.
Yeah.
Statute. A statue. There's a statue
Yeah.
of limitations.
This is the guy in the other day's episode that said bathroom.
Y'all leave me alone. Quit picking on
Statute.
me.
I'll tell you a funny story. So I grew up in Augusta, Georgia, and right outside of Augusta, Georgia is the Savannah River site, which is the bomb plant. That's where they make nuclear bombs. And so very highly restricted area over there. They do have some alligators over there. And of course, protected unless you have permission. So we have some friends who I'll leave unnamed. He's an oral surgeon. One of them is an oral surgeon. We used to travel all over the world together. And he's a big-time hunter. And so they were out with their bows, and he saw an alligator, and he thought, he's going to kill it. Some things need killing. So he did. And he came back and he told some of his friends, he was like, hey, I killed an alligator. And they're like, dude, you're on federal land. You're on the bomb plant. You can't, that's a protected species. You can't, do that. You can't tell anybody. So anyway, the next day he was in his office, right? And somebody comes in wearing a suit and walks up to the receptionist, says, I'm here to see Dr. So-and-so. And comes back there, identifies himself as the FBI.
Oh.
Yeah, needless to say, he crapped his pants. But it was a total setup. His buddies had it set up where they were coming in there and investigating him for the whole thing. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, it wasn't for him. But
Yeah, I was going to say, that's not funny for him.
I know, man, when friends like those. But no, that's always been my philosophy. Some things need killing.
Yeah.
I'm always waiting on that guy to walk in.
I know. Yeah, some things need killing. Like Steve, bless his heart. We need to harvest
I'm a human
Steve.
life. I'm valuable.
I know. Well, we got to. The problem is, if we kill him, there'll be a whole bunch more that'll pop up.
You say human life. It's crazy how many people message me. They value animal lives more than human life.
They do.
Hey, kill one of my dogs, see what happens. That's like my kid.
Oh, right.
I was just
actually
in
like my
L.A.
dogs better than them sometimes.
I just got back from L.A. last night. Monday night, we were at the premiere of the new Unplanned movie, which is a pro-life, anti-abortion, based on a true story of the girl that was the clinic director down in Bryan, Texas, for 8 years.
Planned Parenthood,
and oversaw 22,000 abortions. And now she's a very, very outspoken pro-life activist. And you're exactly right. They value, and they gave the movie an R rating. The MPAA did, because they said there's blood and violence. Well, how do you commit violence against a blob of tissue, if it's not a human being? So you're right. People, they more highly respect animal lives than they do human lives, and it's crazy how they redefine that thing under the name of compassion.
Yeah.
But a 15-year-old can go get an abortion without parental consent, but can't go watch the movie.
Can't go watch the movie. We're buying out
that
the
don't
Burleson
make
theaters on the day it comes out. We're buying out the Burleson theaters and giving tickets to everybody. I'm buying them, and because I'm rich, so.
Yeah.
I kid, Candace. I kid.
I'm gonna keep
You're looking
your
for a
credit
date.
card.
I'm married. Okay. No.
But to go back on conservation as well, one aspect is the value of an animal too. If it wasn't for hunters, there wouldn't be outfitters over there that looked out for animals as well. If you take the value of an animal off of it, there's no reason for those, like for instance, rhino farmers, or ranchers, whatever you want to call them, they make sure that these animals are taken care of. They make sure that these animals are fed. They make sure they watch out for them like it's their, they are family to them. That's how they make a living. And if you take that value off of it and take hunting out of it, then no one cares to watch out for these animals, which in return get poached.
Yeah.
And that's how these animals are going endangered. And I wouldn't say extinct because I haven't heard of any animals going extinct in our lifetime, but that the rhino is a great example of that. If you take the value off of it, no one cares to watch out for it.
Yeah.
And the reason it has a value is because there's a demand as a hunter to come and hunt those.
Yeah. It's common sense, really.
Yeah, if you think about it in our terms, if you think of it as farmers, if there wasn't a demand for cotton, or if there wasn't a demand for wheat or Milo or any of that, why they're not just going to go out and farm for fun?
Yeah. No, absolutely not. I don't know why you brought up cotton. That's racist. Jeez, Kendall. Golly.
My bad.
Hey, we're going to hit all the topics today.
Exactly. God, well, Kendall Jones, you heard it here on the Chad Prather Show. She's a racist. She's a racist.
That's what we need the headline saying.
I love to troll people, though. I love to stir it up. I have a good time with it because people are idiots.
So you have a wall full of stuff? Do you have it all taxidermy?
Yeah.
Is that what you call it, taxidermy?
I wouldn't say a wall. We have more of a room.
Yeah.
So where is that done at? Do they do it in Africa?
The taxidermy?
Yeah.
I've had some done in Africa, but I've had a lot done here as well. There's a ton of taxidermy shops around here, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
My buddy,
get it done.
He had an elk head that he killed in Colorado done, and they shipped it to him, and a friend of ours went to the airport and picked it up because we were all going out to his sportsman's ranch out in Palo Pinto County, Texas, and it was in the cardboard box, with the wood frame and all that, and it blew out of the back of the truck 70 miles an hour on I-20, and it fortunately landed on the base of the mount, so it just slid 40 yards down the highway. So and they didn't hurt it, thank God. This giant elk.
I was about to say it was completely.
It had a big tuft of hair sticking up right there where the wind had gotten a hold of it. So a little hairspray, he fixed it and pushed it back down.
It down.
Beautiful elk. I got another friend who was hunting elk. Was he hunting elk? It was elk, and so he had a guide with him.
It's your story. Make it up as you go.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think of this. Yeah, he was hunting Godzilla. No, he was hunting elk, and they came over the ridge, and the elk was standing there, and he had his rifle on his shoulder here, and as he brought it forward, he pulled the trigger and shot up in the air, and the elk just froze, and the guide goes, "Shoot it," and so he bolted another round. and shot it. And the guide says, that's the first time I've ever seen anybody fire a warning shot.
He wanted to give it a fair chase.
Yeah. So anyway, but no, it's craziness. I enjoy, I grew up, I didn't grow up big game hunting. It was not our thing. We had bird dogs, and so we were very much into the quail and the doves and things like that. So we've always been bird hunters, and I kind of got into big game hunting later on in life, and I've always been a fisherman. So it's fascinating. But then I went from rifle to bow, which I felt like was more challenging and more fun for me. There was a little more of a skill set to it. But yeah, and then I got to a point where I said, I don't want to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning when it's cold outside and sit in a tree.
So now you're an evening hunter.
No, I watch it
Just
on TV.
after sunset.
Yeah. Now Steve has a theory on hunting.
What's
Which
your
one?
theory?
Steve, about what time to go hunting?
Oh,
Yeah.
right after sunset.
Yeah. With a big light.
I'm the kind of hunter that like everybody else is coming back in from like the morning hunt, and I'm waking up going, I guess I better go sit on the stand, and I'll go out there and I'll kill a deer, and they're like, what?
Everyone knows I'm not an early riser. Anyone I go hunting with, they all know that they're going to have to. I set like 15 alarms for sure. Like
I'm
I
like
have
a
to
10 a.m. hunter.
Yeah,
Like,
if I can do the 10 a.m. hunt or even the noon hunt,
Yeah.
I'm great at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you do much hog hunting?
I do. We have a lot of hogs on our ranch. I haven't been able to do a lot lately, but those are fun.
Talking about Hannah Bear, and she posted yesterday one she killed over the weekend, I think, and talking about how bad it stunk and all that. And I'm like, oh, it's just so nasty.
Yeah, they're gross for sure.
Well, the Barons are gross. Jeff, her dad, and all them, they're nasty
you set
people.
hog traps and then you feed them for 30 days.
Yeah.
Feed them out.
I like killing them and getting them off our property because they do so much damage.
Well, they're a pest. They really are.
And they breed so fast.
Yeah, they do. Me too. I love these people that keep wanting me to get on a helicopter and go. I'm like, I don't do helicopters. I just
You
don't.
wouldn't want to do that?
No,
I've done it. It's a lot of fun.
It looks fun, but I just don't trust helicopters. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Natalie's husband was a Black Hawk pilot, so
I would let him fly mine. He's
I wouldn't.
alive still.
No. Does he still fly helicopters?
No, well, I mean, no.
But he can.
He could.
Let's get him one.
Probably need to, freshen up some skills.
Yeah.
But he could. We saw one on Craigslist for $1 million.
Sold one?
A Black Hawk. No, we saw one.
Saw one.
They only cost
About
$1
to
million.
say you're buying dinner tonight.
Joseph, let's buy it. No,
Yeah.
you could just.
Can you do that just for leisure use? Just fly your Black Hawk around
I'm going
DFW?
A hard no on that, but
I got a
I'm gonna
buddy
need to
who's
see
wrecked
the
three of them.
The Fox
Wrecked?
3 helicopters,
I wanna
yes.
see the maintenance records.
One of them,
I
they almost
probably-
killed everybody.
I probably wouldn't fly with
No.
him. That's
My
probably
other
someone I
buddies that
wouldn't
have
fly
wrecked with him said we'd fly with him right now today. It's. I mean, he's mangled them up. It's just bad. They're fortunate to be alive, but he's wrecked 3 of them. One, he didn't know how to fly. It was sitting on a flatbed truck, and they were waiting on a guy to come. And he's like, I can figure it out. And he went right upside down. He got it about a foot off the thing and went right upside down.
I used to ride on them coming from offshore when I worked offshore, and we get those pilots that were old Vietnam, like war pilots, and they dive off that rig, and it's 150 feet to the water, and and then it's crazy.
Nope, I'm out.
Yep.
They fly in spite of themselves. It's a bowling ball with a rotor.
Yep.
No way. Anyway, so hogs are nasty. Coyotes are nasty. They're also pests. I mean, and they're dangerous. So
They just killed a whitetail on our property.
really
Yeah, a few nights ago.
bad news, man. And so that's why I say some things need killing.
Eat 'em up
Exactly.
quick, too.
They're pests.
If you don't control it, then
Yeah.
you have to control the predators.
Yeah, you do. And it's one of those things where, the big debate about AR-15s and things like that. They have no idea what ranchers and farmers use that for and
Yeah.
need that. And you got people in New Zealand now after this Christchurch shooting where you even got farmers who are coming in and say, well, we just need to turn in our guns. We use them for work, but we're going to turn them in.
I'm
The
going to
height
build
of
one
idiocy.
just for fun.
Oh, all of mine are just for
I
fun.
was going to say,
yeah.
I don't have a ranch, but I still get to have AR-15.
Yeah, among
right.
other things. That's right. We like our guns. We like our guns.
It's not a gun issue, it's a mental health issue.
You're exactly right. Exactly right. And all you got to do is get online or go to the airport and just see how crazy people are.
Oh, yeah, go to the airport for sure. Just people watch.
Yeah, exactly. So you have, do you still fish a lot?
I do every once in a while. I wouldn't say that I'm like a hardcore fisherman, but I like to go out every once in a while. We actually went fishing last night, so I actually got my little cousin his first like half a pound bass.
Nice.
It was literally about that big.
Nice. Still got to hold it up right at the camera so it looks
for
big.
Sure,
yeah.
for sure.
Have you tried noodling?
No.
Have you ever tried it?
No. And I wouldn't.
Noodling. I won't either.
There's no way I am going underwater in murky water where you can't see what's under there, sticking my hand in some random hole just to have a fish bite it. Like, nope, I'll catch it on a rod and reel.
Chad.
I'm going to shove my mic away.
Yeah.
You get too many jokes, party foul? I told y'all, just hang around. Yeah, quit. Just stop it, Steve.
All right, I'm good. I'm back.
No, Hannah Barron's always telling me, she's like, you're going to do it. You're going to do it. And I'm like,
she tells me that all the time, too.
No, I
and
am
I'm like,
not going to do
I'll
it.
go and watch. Like, I'll just
watch.
chill.
Yeah, there's no way I'm doing it. Y'all are, they're nasty people. They really are. Bless their hearts. They are gross. But no, I'm not getting, first of all, I don't get in any water. I don't get in the ocean. I like being on the water or by the water, but I'm not getting in the ocean, and I'm not getting in no murky lake where, like you said.
You just stick your hand in a random...
Yeah.
If my buddy sticks his hand in there and checks it out first, and everything's good, I might do it.
Nope, not even then.
I'd
I
try
want
it.
the all clear.
You tried it?
No, I would try it.
You would try it?
Uh-huh.
I don't like catfish. I mean, I'll eat catfish.
Jeff talked to me about it when we were in Vegas.
That's not the kind of catfish
They're
I want
nasty.
to eat.
They're just gross
I want,
fish.
like,
No,
blue
they
cats
are.
or cannel cats.
Especially the ones that are like 40 pounds. They're just
they're nasty.
and they have that slime on them that
We used
gets
to put
all over
out,
you.
my late grandfather, he used to go to the service station. We don't even have those anymore, but he used to go to the gas station, the service station. He would tell them to set aside their, quart jugs of motor oil when they were empty. And so he had hundreds. We would put a 2-foot leader on there with a 5-aught hook or whatever. And we would throw those jugs out on a dark night because the catfish will come up. We'd put cut bait on there. We'd catch a little brim and chop them up and put them on the hook. And then on a dark night, catfish would come up to feed. And so we'd go out the next day. It was like chasing jaws. We had a big, long bamboo pole with a hook on the end of it, duct tape on there. And we would pull those jugs over to us. Yeah, we were rednecks. Rednecks. And so pull those things in. But we had one time that was a 48-pounder. And it looked like a slimy human being laying on the back of the boat. It was just really, man, you get that big. You can't even
They're
eat
gross.
that.
I've caught like a 50-pound catfish, just like rod and reel, and
Look,
brought
she
it
just
in.
outfished you. You 48, she got 50.
Okay.
I was like, I love it.
Mine was 47. No, but yeah, we got it in the boat, and I have to hold it like this. And after it got out, there's just like all this gross.
Oh, it's gross.
It's just nasty. It's not like, I'm not afraid to get dirty and like gross, but like,
What about bow fishing? You do bow fishing?
Yeah, bow fishing's
All
fun.
right, for the alligator gar?
I like trying it. I shoot at least 150 times a night, and sometimes I hit one.
What are you fishing for when you're
gar?
Gar?
Gar.
Okay, nice.
Yep. Anything that I can hit with it.
On those catfish jugs, every now and then we would catch a gar, and they're such nasty creatures.
Are
and
they?
they're just useless. The big
We
long
used to catch
alligator.
gar on Piney Creek in East Texas, and they would be the biggest. They're like this, but they would be the biggest fighting. They were fun to catch because they would fight like.
We'd catch
480s.
those ones that were 4 foot long. I mean, they were. And my grandfather he'd smack them in the head and kill them. He had a cane he carried in the boat with him. He just
Cane.
Yeah. So he'd just smack them on the head and get them out because they're pests, And so one time my uncle, who lives over in Dallas, he's a pretty big old boy, not the most graceful person. They had one laying on the front of the boat. My grandfather was like, "Why are you just throw it back in the water?" And he's like, "No, I want to take it home and show my wife," because we had a lake house there. He said, "I want to show my wife." So he was standing there, wasn't paying attention, and he stepped off the side of the boat. One foot went off the side, and so he just straddled the side of the boat and just came down with one
felt good.
one on the boat. One, so he was sitting there, and that gar was still alive just enough it bit him right in the crotch. He fell with the nose of that gar right between his legs. Just boom.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I
We
actually
laughed.
I went bow fishing off in Florida, and we did stingray. Now that is a lot of fun too.
That's fun.
I don't know if you call them a school of stingray, or I don't know. It was a big group of them all fluttering through the water. It was awesome.
It's pretty amazing. My wife loves to go snorkeling when we go.
It might be a flock. They kind of fly through the
Yeah,
water.
I think it might be.
You're making stuff up,
I'm making
Steve.
it up.
Oh,
have
okay.
no idea.
But anyway, don't ever take
it's not
anything
a flock,
Steve says
a flock
seriously.
of stingray. Someone look it up. I want to
No.
know.
Somebody look it up. There's
Google.
So we were down in
Cold, good
Jamaica.
He's so disappointed right now. He's a big waterfowl and goose hunter, so
That's
he
funny.
probably knows it's not flock.
Now we
Hey, goose
Yeah.
hunters, don't y'all just lay down all day and wait for them to fly over? Pop up.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
So I'm not awake yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's way
Exactly.
before I get up.
No, we had we were down in Jamaica snorkeling. Like I said, I don't like getting in the water, but my wife loves to snorkel, and so I'll do it for her. And so we were down there, we were looking at the rays and all this stuff, and there was this, I guess, manta. It was huge. It was the size of a Volkswagen.
Oh yeah,
One
the
of those
manor.
big fat.
Are they like polka dotted almost?
Yeah,
Kinda look like
I
the
could
leopard
see
print.
it. I could see it about 10 yards away, and I was like, it's time to get out of the water. It was the
Time to
size of a
go.
Volkswagen. It was huge. I mean,
They're
it was
massive.
It was incredible. But no, I see stuff like that, and I know it's all living down there. Natalie, do you do any hunting?
I have. I shot an elk,
Mm-hmm.
and she had basically like painted a target on her own forehead. She was like, if you could just get me right here, because she was ready to go, and I did. I brained her, and eyes went opposite way. I put the gun down.
Iron sights 30-30. Come on, make this story
I did.
good.
No, I really did. I even have witnesses, but I haven't. It's like when you hit a strike at the bowling alley, you're like, I'm done. I'm good. I feel like that was like one. And
Got it
done
out of
for
your
me.
system?
Well, no. I don't want to, hurt my numbers. It was amazing.
You're one for one.
I'm 1 for 1.
Batting
So
1,000. I
Where
quit.
where'd you hunt it?
I was in West Texas in Fort Stockton
Okay.
on a ranch. It's actually D.R. Horton's ranch. He has a couple of about a little over 100,000 acres out there.
Oh wow.
And it was very. I mean, we were driving in a pickup truck, looking, and this was one that he needed to harvest.
I've shot a few out of pick. Oh,
Yeah, and I used
Out the back
a
of the
really
truck.
good gun, and it went well. And I was like, no, I think I'm good. I'm gonna end there. But I would. I mean, I just don't ever have a chance because I'm always working. Actually, I was taking it back to the hunting, because you talked about keeping an eye on the predators.
Mm-hmm.
I did a story. I was a reporter for ABC in Austin. I did a story about the overpopulation of deer in one of the suburbs there, and they were trying to find the most humane way to relocate the deer. They did not. It did not go well. They actually would gather them all under a tree and dropped a gigantic net over all of these deer, and then they put them in the back of a truck. I would say, I don't know what number it was that they broke legs, broke their neck, because they're freaking out. It was crazy. So that's something else that I think people forget. Those deer were starving. They're they're in a suburb of a big city, and there's no food there. But they are overpopulating.
Yeah, if they're overpopulated, I mean, their food source. We keep building buildings and taking up the land, so that's going to push the animals out and come into suburbs and neighborhoods. And we had turkey, and I've seen whitetail in the neighborhood we lived in Burleson. And I mean, it's pushing them out, and they don't have a habitat anymore. So they're getting overpopulated, their food source, and they starve and die.
Yeah.
We have coyotes there in Burleson in our neighborhood.
Yeah, we've seen some in ours too.
Back before I moved to Texas, I was living in. I grew up in Georgia, and I lived for a little while in Alabama. And Alabama hit a point where there was not a county in Alabama that did not have coyotes. And I mean, you're very dangerous. You got a kid who's playing in the backyard, on the swing set, and all of a sudden, coyote takes a kid away. I mean, it's a major thing. So Texas is about.
The dingoes took my baby.
we have a lot of that right now in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, along with that and bobcats.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just.
Don't be making me scared.
I like bobcats.
You
Leave them
need
alone.
to be aware.
Bobcats.
You have a gun, you're good.
Bobcats.
They're stealth.
I know.
Bobcats are stealth.
I don't mess with cats of any kind. No, I don't mess with them. I don't like house cats.
Oh, I don't like house cats either.
Something we should hunt those.
And cue the
Here
comments.
comes the comments.
Oh,
No.
so that's where your cat disappeared to.
Yeah, my cat.
Yeah, Chad's cat
yeah.
disappeared.
But
we
you
hadn't
eat
seen
what
it.
you kill, so
Yeah.
it's okay.
Well, I told you
Cat
about when I
does
was
not
16 and I
taste anything
rounded up a
like
bunch of.
dog.
Actually, talking about cat, I shot a mountain lion, and we ate it. It's white meat.
Really?
and it's actually really good.
Come on.
I
I'm
wonder if
not. I'm not
Melody-
making that up.
Really?
Does
Yeah.
Melody in Colorado, does she eat their big cats they kill?
Melody Villard, I have no
Yeah.
idea.
They kill some
They bite the
big
nuts off of their
cats.
goats.
Yep.
Sheep.
I'm doing that
Sorry.
next.
They have a very big sheep ranch in Craig, Colorado, and that's one of the ways that they castrate is they bite them off. And
With their mouth?
With their mouth, yeah.
No,
Mike
they
Rowe.
just cut through the vas
Yummy.
deferens with their teeth. You
That's
know,
the same freaking thing.
Well, they've already cut the nut out, and then they it's kind of their tradition.
How did we get on this subject?
Mike Rowe did it. I can do it.
Yeah, Mike Rowe did an episode of Dirty Jobs with them, and yeah. Yeah, I don't know how we got on that, Kendall. I have no
Kendall, is
idea.
there anything that you kill that isn't eaten?
You can eat anything. I mean, there's obviously like I mean, there's obviously like preferred animals over other ones. Like, boars are kind of disgusting.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Like-
You eat one equine burger, and people get pissed off.
I like horse meat. Look, horse meat ain't bad. Crystal's Hamburgers used to be horse meat. I was a fan.
Crystals, gross.
They're the best horse makes the best sliders. It really does. When I was 16, I rounded up a bunch of cats and turned them loose in the Chinese restaurant. I don't know what happened to those cats. They probably turned out delicious. Oh my goodness gracious! You're working on the project. I think you should call it the Kendall Jones story. Or just give any random name. to it.
Random name,
Yeah.
Just no title. That's a bold one.
How long is that going to be? How long? How long will it be before
You got to put the
think you're
word
done?
cheerleader in it somewhere in that title because you want it to draw attention,
Yeah.
good or bad.
This is Steve being
No,
serious.
this is me being serious. You have to have that. I don't know if you want to call it cheerleader kill or
Oh,
you
my
know,
God.
something
I
like
think
that.
it draws attention
But I
with
think-
just her name.
That's a slasher movie.
Someone told me this one, which I thought it was good. It was in the crosshairs, I can't even say it. The controversial,
That girl talks
Yeah.
just like me.
the
I
controversial
know what you
rise
mean.
of Kendall Jones.
That's pretty cool.
The controversial
Rise.
rise.
Yeah, like in the crosshairs.
That's a long name.
In
well,
the crosshairs.
the title
cheerleader
would be
kill.
in the crosshairs.
I like
And
it.
then the little subtitle, I guess,
Ooh.
the controversial rise.
Yeah. Has it ever dissuaded you, like I'm just going to get off of social media and just not do it, not post stuff up there?
All the time.
Tell me though, in the beginning when the hate really started, did you go home to mom and cry?
Mom, you want to answer that one? No,
No, she didn't.
I mean, still to this day, literally, I've never cried about social media. Like,
People hurt my feelings all the time. I go home to my wife and cry. Like,
no,
I
I
can't take it.
really don't care. Like the hate, I know it like sounds weird, but it's never bothered me.
Yeah.
Anything people say, like, my whole take on it is if people are talking about me and what they have to say about me without knowing me says more about who they are as a person than it does
Exactly.
me.
Exactly.
And because I've had so many people come up to me that actually want to get to know me or like ask me questions, and they're like, wow, like you're not who I thought you were. Like you're not like trying to be mean or ugly about it. You're like, you have a passion for it. And like,
Yeah. I had a guy who was really bad on social media for the longest time, and I just blocked him. I felt like,
I block people all the time, like especially the ones that message me in Spanish. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm sure you're not saying anything nice.
My Spanish is a little rough. Don't block me.
I'm like, I'm sure you're probably from a different country cussing me out, but I'm just gonna go ahead and block you for that.
But this guy came to one of my shows. He came to a live show, and he was like, "Man, I'm so sorry for all that stuff. Would you accept me back and unblock me and all that stuff?" And I was like, "No,
And sign my T-shirt.
no, yeah,
It's like
exactly." But he came to a show. It was like, "Hey, I'm that guy that," and I was like, "Yeah, you're a douche.
Why
No.
are you here?
No."
I think the haters don't deserve a response. There's no
yeah.
time for that. But do you have advice? Because I'm sure people dealing with other bullies out there for other women, do you give them advice for that?
I mean, it's really hard, like, because I like to do, like, I like to give advice as to what I do, and I really don't give into it. Like, every once in a while, I'll come back with a smart aleck comment. But really, I just block and delete them, or, I mean, the best is God bless you. Like, they literally
Bless your
hate that.
Bless your
or, like,
heart.
praying for you. Like, I hope you, like, go to a mental institution.
Yeah.
But no, I really don't give in to them because it just feeds them to give more. So normally I just block and delete. I mean, my comment controls on social media are pretty strict. And
Did you get to a point where like people can't send you a private message?
so you can't do that on Instagram, or I have yet to figure it out.
Not on Instagram. No, you're right. On Facebook, the Political Cowboy Facebook page, I took off the ability to message.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. That was a lot of hate.
Well, they'll message me.
I haven't
you.
yet. I normally just ignore them. But yeah, I mean, this past week, like I said, I've gotten a lot of hate over going to watch a bullfight, like 25 messages every few hours. So I just try to go.
That's my dream vacation, one of them.
Really?
I mean,
Spain?
to go to Spain and
It's
watch.
awesome.
I've been to Spain, but never to the bullfights.
Really?
Steve wants to fight the bull.
Steve
I would
wants to
pay
get
for his
I want to
trip.
run down the street at least like 10 feet if I
Oh
can.
no, I didn't.
Not the whole way.
I just went and watched in like a.
No,
I don't want to run.
I don't want to be that guy that gets flipped over the fence or anything like that.
You
but
will be that guy.
I swear you would be that
You
guy.
will be that
Obviously.
guy.
You party foul
Do they have
Steve
vodka in
goes
Spain?
to Spain. Party
They have
foul. That's
lots
an
of vodka
episode,
in
Jason.
Spain.
Party foul runs with the bulls.
I'm rolling
All
camera.
right, I think we need to do that.
Let's go
see
to
if the
Spain.
Blaze will budget that.
Where is that?
vacation.
Pamplona? Where is that?
That sounds
Yeah, Pamplona.
familiar.
We're going to Spain. We're going to Spain.
I went
Steve's
to
running with the
Palma,
bulls.
which is Palma, Spain's actually a little island off the coast of Spain.
Yeah,
So that's the only place I've been in Spain.
yeah.
So I need to go.
I'm paying for the
beautiful
trip if
over
you'll
there.
run with the bulls.
Let's do it.
I'm paying for the trip anyway. Who am I
that's right.
kidding? Steve.
First
Hey,
Ireland.
Of course I'm paying for the damn trip. Yeah, you're not going to Ireland. with us.
You keep telling me that.
My wife and I are going to Ireland. You're not going. Okay? We'll
I
wake up.
think you should go to Germany during October for Oktoberfest.
Oh,
My
my
son-in-law
Lord.
is in
you-
Germany,
I think you would
right
throw
now,
it down
so
there.
I need to go visit my son-in-law. He's in Germany. So
Oh my
I
Lord!
wonder if he'll let me stay at his place.
There would be an extradition process that would happen. You'd be in jail over there.
Trump would have to come get you.
Yeah, Trump will come.
Hey.
He'll send
United States ain't the only place I've been in jail.
me either. Me either. I hate to admit it, but no, trust me, I'd rather be in jail in the United States. Grapevine
Oh,
has a
trust me,
very
our
nice jail,
jails in
by
the
the
United
way,
States are
over there
great.
where y'all are building the Texas gun experience. They told me, they said we don't try to treat people like criminals. We treat them like people, and that way they get some little bit of self-respect. I'm like, I just got a good night's sleep.
I just got a good night's sleep.
It was a very nice room. But anyway, I don't want to go back. It was a very expensive stay. No, I was innocent of those charges, by the way, proven in the court of law in Fort Worth, Texas.
Mine were just dropped, so I'm good.
Yeah. Anyway, back to you, Kendall.
I don't have any jail
No
stories.
record. No record.
No record.
Okay, no
My
mug
record-
shots that are going to pop
A few
up.
speeding tickets.
That's
but
good. That's good. So what's next for you? Where you going?
What's next?
What's the plan?
Man.
Like, what are you going to kill next? You animal hater.
I actually have a trip planned to France.
Yeah.
To hunt
Parisians.
chamois, mouflon, and roe deer.
Okay.
So that's probably my next big adventure. But turkey season is just around the corner. Only a few more weeks until we can
Yeah.
get those thunder chickens.
Thunder chickens.
Thunder chickens.
That's my term, thunder chickens. I got
And
one tattooed
then-
on my chest.
And then I want to do more than just hunting and things like that. I want to get more into fishing. We've talked about going fly fishing a lot. So I've casted a fly fishing rod
Let me tell you,
once.
catching flies is harder than it looks.
Oh no, I've heard we have been watching YouTube videos over this for the past week now, and we've probably watched 100.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
And whenever
Are y'all
Mom's
talking
off
crap?
camera. Mom's off microphone, off camera. What'd you say?
said catching flies is a lot
catching flies
harder.
is a lot harder than it looks.
Yeah.
Fly fishing.
That's like, it's like the frog
Mr.
said.
Miyagi did it.
I get it now.
I had French hen jokes for France, but it's already too
That
late
one
for that one.
would have gone way over my head.
That's like the frog said, time's fun when you're having flies. There you go. Anyway, you big into turkey hunting?
I wouldn't say I'm big into it, but I really enjoy it.
Yeah, you just like killing things.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah.
I was over in West Monroe, Louisiana with the Robertson
Oh
family
gosh,
recently.
West Monroe.
And Willie was talking about this deer he shot, this big deer and all this stuff. And then Phil, his dad, Phil Robertson, he's like, yeah, I killed one too. And he said, I picked it up by all four legs like this and stuck it in the back of the truck.
At my house,
they're just killing meat,
At my house, we call that camp meat.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that's the thing. I mean, do you prepare and cook venison? Do you care about it?
I do. No, I like.
Are you domesticated, Kendall? Or are you a third wave feminist?
No, I am somewhat domesticated. If you call a Roomba going around the house
We
vacuuming,
pre-programmed
then
the
I am
Roomba.
very domestic.
Yeah.
And I'm
got a
really
chihuahua.
good at cooking tacos.
Yeah. There you go.
That's like my go-to meal, tacos. You just have to brown the meat,
That's
put
like my
some
wife. My
spices
wife
on
makes
it.
chili and a boboli pizza. She just puts the cheese and the pepperonis on
her
them.
homemade chili, something else.
Yeah. My wife one time was talking about her homemade chili. She's talking to Steve because Steve makes a homemade deal. And she's like, I make homemade chili. It's really good. She said, first I do that, brown the meat, blah, blah, blah. And she goes, then I open up a can of Wolf brand. Imported.
That's me.
We're like, that ain't homemade,
I'm
babe.
never letting her live that down.
Not homemade.
But yeah, I mean, I really like eating it and trying it. I'm just not like that great. It's good.
Yeah.
My presentation, it needs help.
I understand.
It needs help.
What's the craziest thing you've eaten?
What's that stuff we ate in Africa? Tripe?
Oh, tripe. Ugh.
Tripe.
stomach
Isn't that like the stomach guts? Yeah, it's. They
My
didn't
first
tell
time
me.
I went to-
They didn't tell me what it was until
Is it
after I
fried? 'Cause
ate
if
it.
it's fried, there's a
Menudo,
good chance
right?
I'd try it if it's fried.
First, yeah, you can fry a turd. Natalie will eat that.
It's got
food.
corn in it. It wasn't clean good.
So you're getting your veggies. The first time I was in Nigeria, we sat down in this dirt floor restaurant with a curtain for a front door on the side of the road, and my friend who lived there, they were taking our order, and he said, I want beef, and he pointed to his thigh. He said, I want beef, and then he rubbed his stomach. He said, not this beef, this beef. Yeah, I want the muscle, not the stomach. So, ugh. Nasty. And I was like, what have I gotten myself into? But I got dysentery in Africa too and lost 20 pounds.
My dad got tick
Bad.
bite
Might need to
fever.
go back.
Yeah, bad. I lost 20 pounds in just a matter of days. But I don't think that chicken was cooked. But anyway, I've eaten a lot of stuff in a real dark hut that I don't know what was on the plate, but just to be polite, you eat it, Tripe's nasty. Now I'm hungry. Let's go across the street.
Hey, you put it on a stick, I'll eat it.
Trust me, I know.
33 countries, I've eaten a lot of stuff on a stick.
Me too.
I just eat it.
Nothing better than meat on a stick. There aren't enough meats on a stick. That's the fact. I wanted to. I think the worst I've ever eaten was maybe a rattlesnake, shark, possum. That's nasty.
I heard rattlesnake's good. I've never had it. But
Some people
Like
say.
chicken. It doesn't taste like chicken, but it's got that texture.
chicken texture.
Anyway, we got to go hunting. We got to go fishing. I'm going with you.
I'm down.
Let's go.
Anything
If y'all-
outdoors.
Yeah.
If y'all go fishing, we learned that a group of stingrays is called a
School.
fever.
A fever.
You told me school.
I got a fever.
I Google. It's
Hey,
on Google, so it has to be
does
right.
sound correct, though.
It could be school.
Hey, we should
think-
ask
I
that
think
guy
it's
from
fever.
Australia. What's his name? He's an expert on animals, outdoors.
You mean the
Steve
dead guy?
Irwin.
Steve
Oh.
Irwin.
Yeah.
Oh, he had an incident close
With
to
a
town.
stingray.
Okay, we
Too
should leave
soon,
that alone.
Steve.
Too
It's
soon?
too soon. Too soon.
Stu Stoon.
Too soon, Steve. Leave it to Steve.
So
Yeah.
school or fever.
But
One
you
of
know,
the two.
but
One of the two. You can Google it and figure it out.
and PETA just came out about Steve Irwin on his birthday and saying what a disservice he did to the animal community because he was always invading their habitat and stuff. And I'm like, come on, that guy did so much for conservation.
I
of
truly
animals.
believe there's no way you can be 100% vegan.
No,
No.
No.
Okay, the house you live in, you took up an animal's habitat. There you go.
right there. Look at you with the logic.
Look at me.
My manager in LA is a vegetarian. He will eat eggs, but he's been a vegetarian for 40 years. And I mean, like, that's legit vegetarian right there.
Like, and I believe that you can definitely like vegetarian for health benefits.
Yeah.
Some people can't eat it, and that's totally fine. But there's no way to be vegan.
No, there's no way.
I was trying to talk him into eating some meat the other day.
He gets sick.
Yeah.
He will get sick.
I
I've seen it
couldn't-
happen.
I could not physically be a vegetarian.
All I eat
I
is
know.
meat.
I want chicken wings right now. Chickens are nasty. Chicken is
I
just a
love
rat with a
chicken.
good reputation. really
Rat
is.
with a good reputation.
But they're nasty. we used to go down to Honduras all the time, and we'd be pulling teeth on people in the villages, throw those teeth down on the ground. The chicken would eat them, and then that night we were eating chicken and rice. So it made you think.
Look,
It made you think.
Well, this is fun. We're gonna go hunting. We're gonna kill some stuff. I don't care what anybody watching this program. I don't care what you say. Some things need killing. That's a fact.
It is.
I think we should make a T-shirt.
I think we should
Some
too.
things need killing.
Let's
Have a
collab
margarita
on it.
hat.
And the margarita. We'll wear
Margarita
Margaritaville hats.
hat.
We can wear them all at the border, at the wall.
All at the border.
It's craziness. And we can wear it to a PETA rally. How about that?
PETA rally. We should go to one.
We should go to one. These people aren't on the same, they're not on the same
No,
planet.
this is the mental health issue I'm talking about.
It really is.
well, they're like anything. Anybody that's on the extreme of anything, I'm for the extreme, like extreme deodorant. Beyond anything else being extreme, I don't want anything else extreme.
That's some profundity coming out of you right there. I'm for the extreme deodorant. Is that what you said?
I mean, that's when you talk extremities. I mean, extreme deodorant.
Yeah.
Everything else, I don't like the extreme.
I agree
This
with
guy.
deodorant.
That's like
That's a party platform right there. That's a party foul political
that's
platform.
it.
I'm for extreme deodorant.
And nothing else.
That's
The
his
entire
presidential
state of
run.
Alabama should be wrapped in a prophylactic. Beyond that, we're good.
an extreme prophylactic.
I love everybody in Alabama. God bless you. I've had some hard times there. Oh, my gosh. This is what happens here in Studio 22. Herbert, any words? No? We're not sorry. We're not sorry because you are beautiful in this room. Good looking. What's the biggest deer you've killed?
I knew you were gonna ask that. I don't know officially because I have hunted high fence, but I don't count that.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I grew up.
Thank you very much for not counting that.
Yeah,
that,
I
that
mean-
means a lot.
I think high fence hunting has tons of benefits. I have a high fence ranch, but I think it has tons of benefits. I think it's great. It does awesome things, but me personally, I don't consider those like my
Right.
biggest trophies. So I would say 140.
Yeah. It's a good sized deer.
Yeah, it was nice.
It's a good sized deer.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Added up
You
points.
get into all those irregular antlers and all those kind of things. They get a little crazy.
Oh
in the
yeah,
wild,
they do
but-
for sure. And that's one of the things my dad did. He did deer breeding.
Yeah.
And we have an exotic ranch. We have about 15 to 20 different species. We're working on getting those numbers up right now and different species out on the ranch. But he did deer breeding for a very long time. And that's something I didn't want to continue.
Crazy expensive.
Oh, yeah.
It's
It's
fun. People
have no
an
idea.
expensive hobby.
I worked on a high fence ranch, and I had the luxury of stalking and hunting the last only one native buck left on the place when they closed it down.
Yeah.
And that was kind of fun to try to, but when I shot it, I panicked for a minute because it's pretty good size. And they had already released the big South
big
Texas
boys.
giant big boys in there. My heart stopped for a minute because
Thinking
I was
you
like,
had shot
oh,
one.
Gosh. But
They're high dollar.
I had stalked it for over a week in the rain and all this nasty, trying to hunt this thing down. And the day that I killed it, I shot it out the bedroom window of the cabin. It was like,
All right.
you're welcome,
Sniper
Kevin Fowler."
style.
You got up early for no reason.
Yeah.
He shot it from the bed.
I shot it from Kevin Fowler's bedroom window of his cabin.
That's funny.
That's funny. Kevin never really kills any of his own stuff, does he?
They're pets for him. They
Yeah.
are his buddies. They are, and we had coyotes out there that killed some deer, and it broke his heart. They're pets for him.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it is for me. I actually don't hunt on my ranch. Like I've killed maybe three
Yeah.
animals out there. One was wounded from a previous hunter that came out there and hunted. So I shot that. And then I have shot a whitetail out there. And I've shot turkey and hogs, but I'll do turkey and hog hunting out there and predator control like coyotes and bobcats and stuff. But none of the exotics or whitetail.
Yeah. My good friend James Robinson that hosts Life Today, he's got a ranch down South Texas, but he's got a room in his house over where he lives in DFW, and he has every species of animal that's found on that. He has a mount of it, all the way to the birds and even the grass in the green life. So he's got it all
Really?
in that room. He's kind of built a museum to his ranch.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is. So he's
Mom,
got
you want to do it?
He's got a full
Well, I
representation.
don't actually have to go to the ranch. I can go in here into
I can
the
go into
study.
this TV room and look at all the dead stuff, and it's all in there. And no, it's pretty cool how he's got that arranged. I got to call him today, by the way. He told me to call him yesterday, and I forgot.
I'm putting it in my notes right
Yeah,
now.
you put it in your notes, but you don't remind me.
No, yes, I do, but you usually don't remember.
Anyway, he told me to call him.
remind
I
him.
forgot to call him. He's probably got his feelings hurt. Kendall, thanks for coming on the show.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
You got a website?
I do. It's www.thekendalljones.com.
Because
someone else just took my name.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and they
Some
tried
things
to,
need killing.
Yeah, that person being one of them.
Sorry, would you like to buy that on GoDaddy?
For
Wow.
low cost of $2,000,
I'm
I
putting
could,
it up for
but
sale
I'm
right
like,
Kendall
we'll just
Jones.
do thekendalljones.com.
And you're Kendall with 2 L's, right?
Yes, KENDALL.
Yeah. What are you on Twitter?
On Twitter and Instagram, it's _ Kendall Jones _ and on Facebook, it's official Kendall Jones.
Yeah. I appreciate you. I appreciate your voice. I appreciate your stance. I appreciate the things that you've done and you've held in there. And I'm with you on that. You got to have thick skin in this day and age if you're going to stand up and stand for something. Believe it or not, you are you're doing a good thing.
Well, thank you.
You're doing a good
I
thing.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's what keeps me going. I'll take all of the hate messages just for
Yeah.
one or two
You're
of
welcome.
the positive ones. But the amount.
I already liked your Facebook like a long time ago. So
Steve, now
I
you're
wanted
just-
to make sure I was following you on everything, and I already am.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
But the amount of dads that message me saying, like, my daughter got into the outdoors or my wife got into the outdoors because I showed her
Yeah.
pictures of you, or like little girls that think hunting is just a boy thing. Like, they'll show them pictures of my cheerleading days and tumbling and being a girly girl, but I also go out and hunt. And so
Yeah.
I really appreciate those messages, and that's what keeps me going. So.
That's good. You're doing a good job, and I
Thank you.
appreciate it. I'll support you forever. I will, because I appreciate it, and I pray for you too, for what it's worth. I do, because I know that you catch a lot of the heat and people are crazy and all that kind of stuff. So
We should do a whole episode or podcast over
we will.
social hate.
We will. We'll do that, and then we'll mic up and camera up, and we'll go out and some things need killing.
We should. Are you going to be at NRA?
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Oh yeah. I don't miss it. I go.
I'm sure there will be protesters there, so we
Oh,
could
good.
go out
I
and
can't
talk
wait
to
to see
them.
them. Can't wait to see them. I was hanging out with Alyssa Milano at the last one over in Dallas. Bless
The
her
one
heart.
that had a bodyguard with a gun?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. At the NRA show, protesting guns, but her bodyguard had a gun?
That's right.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
Bless her heart. She's okay.
You're _ Kendall Jones _
Steve,
Yes.
sorting it out on air, Steve. That a good boy. Good job.
I'm just reiterating so people will follow her.
Yeah. They
He's
need
in
it.
can thank
Steve
me
land.
later.
He's in Steve world.
I do have a YouTube channel, too. I think it's just Kendall Jones.
Kendall Jones. Yeah. Good stuff. I know you were doing some of the videos where you girls were going out, you were taping in the car and you were doing that
Yeah,
stuff. You were going out.
that series I did, that was back in 2014. We did a short little mini series then, but we kind of discontinued that, and we are.
So you girls had a falling out? Is that the way that works?
Was it a cat fight?
It was a cat fight. It's a long story.
Yeah.
That's for another time. But that's kind of what I'm doing the Cody Project on. I think
Good.
that we're going to do it on YouTube and kind of get that going. So.
Good. Well, thanks for sitting down. Thanks for
Absolutely.
coming in.
Thank
You're
you for
always
having
welcome.
me.
You bet. We'll do this again. Don't forget, go to mercury1.org, donate. Let's help those folks with the flooding in the Midwest. It's a big, big deal. You can find me on watchchad.com, and that's important. Of course it is, because you got to find me live and out on tour. We're having a blast. We're having a really, really good time. We're going to be in Anaheim, California, April 5th, Modesto, California, April 6th, and then we're headed to Spokane, Boise, Idaho Falls, and Casper, Wyoming, late April. And then, by the way, my hometown, Augusta, Georgia, selling very, very fast. Probably going to sell out here pretty soon. So go get your tickets now, because I'm going to be there May 11th. And, hey, Las Vegas, I just found out this morning I'm coming back to you. I know you've missed me. So be back out there. We're debating on the date right now. Be back at Treasure Island. So we'll announce that here pretty soon. Steve loves going to Treasure Island. They give me like the big presidential suite whenever I do a show at Treasure
I slept
Island.
in the basement. He had 3 bathrooms.
I had 3. It has 3 full bathrooms in this place. I mean, it only has 1 bedroom. Why does it have so many bathrooms? I never go to the room. I didn't use a single one of them.
Bidet.
I didn't have a bidet.
Oh.
No. I'm going to get, if I ever build a house, I'm putting in a bidet.
I need a bidet in mine.
You need a bidet right now.
I do.
You need a brain bidet is what you need. You need to wash out your, oh, Lord. So for hot news, Natalie, I can't talk either. Hot news, Natalie.
Steve Beto O'Rourke.
Party foul Beto. Yeah. And the yet to be named Candace in the corner in the Puppet Master
Candace
Mark.
in the corner.
Yet to be named Candace in the corner. You know, she's quiet. We should just start calling her that. Just Candace in the corner. Nobody puts Candace in a corner.
That's right.
I know. Hey, I need everyone to go to YouTube and watch this. If you're going to watch the full video, go to YouTube. Even if you watched it already, go over there and pretend to watch it again, okay? But start going to YouTube to watch them, or download where podcasts are available. That's what helps us. These Facebook things you guys watch, not so good anymore. But now, Candace, we're putting just like 3 and 4 minute clips on Facebook and full episodes over on YouTube. So we're solving these problems one at a time. So I love you guys. Go to blazetv.com/Chad. Use promo code Chad. Sign up and watch Humor Me. And for Kendall Jones, thank you for coming in. We love y'all. God bless you. We'll see you next time.
Thank you. Bye.